How's it going? I always forget to turn my mic off. So, how's it going, everyone? Skylar here. And this stream, I'm going to talk about, well, you just saw the little flash of what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the kind of Bitcoin, what it means after the election, kind of, you know, it's in a funky price range right now that it's only been in like, you know, little over 20 days in its existence. And so I'm going to kind of talk about that. I want to talk about, you know, PayPal and Square and, you know, JP Morgan and, you know, all sorts of companies that are buying a ton of Bitcoin. And the reason why the Bitcoin, one of the reasons why the Bitcoin's price has gone up significantly recently is because a couple of these companies are buying more than Bitcoin is creating, and so it's shortening the supply drastically, which we'll talk about as well. But before, hey, thanks. But before we end up doing that, geez, I don't even know what that means. Like stream? What? I'm on multi-streaming on a platform right now. I'm not really sure what that means. Anyways, so first of all, the two social media platforms I'm on all the time are Twitter and YouTube. So my channel is kind of made for new people entering the space. I'm assuming once this bull run happens, I mean, I have been just getting more and more questions, and so I'll be doing more and more streams. You know, kind of the heavier and heavier requests I get, but so I will kind of, you know, briefly talk about Bitcoin as well, and I'll kind of talk about the problems that Bitcoin has, and talk about what I think about adoption and, you know, price points and why I think those price points. And everyone talks about a $500,000 Bitcoin. I'll talk about that as well, and why that $500,000 is a specific number that people talk about. People talk about even $1 million or more, and there's a reason why behind that, which we'll go over. So I'm going to kind of talk about a lot of stuff, and I'm going to try to do it as quick as possible. So, you know, let's kind of get to it. So, oh yeah, and if you ever have any questions, hit me up on Twitter, DM me. I'm on Twitter all the time, so if you DM me, I'll get it, you know, pretty quick. And so far, my messages haven't been overwhelming. So we'll talk about that chart here in a second. But let's just kind of talk about Bitcoin and crypto in general. So, you know, Bitcoin has, in fact, let's just hop into it. It dipped. It was a little over, I think the price it is right now, in the 15,700 range, and then it dipped to like 14,000, like in the 14,000 low range. Here, let's pull back the last few days. So yeah, as you see, it went to 15,855, and then ended up dropping down to 14,600, and now we're, you know, going back up. I think next week is going to be really good for Bitcoin. Now, people ask what I think about the when it's going to hit 20K and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I'm going to tell you truthfully, I don't know. all my thoughts are hopeful, right? I hold a lot of crypto, and so I'm like, I want it to be quick, and I can see how it could get there, but a lot of people like to claim they know, oh yeah, it's definitely going to do it. And, you know, I've tracked all these people that have huge followings. I've tracked their, you know, they'll make a ton of predictions, and almost all of them are wrong, right? But, you know, they get it right once. Hey man, how's it going? Hey Tio. Oh look, I can read multi-stream. Oh cool. So I think I can read Twitch and Facebook. Anyways, so I do think that crypto could easily hit 20K by the end of the year. I mean, holy moly, yeah, for sure. And if it hits 20K, that's the biggest resistance is 20K. It never actually officially closed at 20K at any exchange. But, and I'm going to talk about why I'm bullish in the short term. Why I'm bullish. By the way, it could go the opposite way. We could tank, right? I don't think we're tanking down to 6K, 3K, or any of that nonsense, but we could go down to the, you know, 12, 13, 11K range. That's where we've been comfortable with, you know, for a long time. And speaking of that, well, before I go into that, hold on. I keep getting ahead of myself. Ethereum. So, Bitcoin is in a price point. I'll just hop to the chart. So Bitcoin currently right now is $15,381. This chart is from Chico Crypto. If you don't subscribe to his videos, you should. Hey man, dump happening, or is it? Oh dude, no, it's the dump. Oh, I mean dump. I am for sure not selling, and if a dump does happen, like, I don't think we're going down to the 6, 8K level. Even the like 11, 12, 13K level, I don't think is like, I don't think we're, I personally am not selling anything, and I think I would feel stupid if I sold in it, you know, because we're in unknown territory right now. And so let me just share this chart. Right, this is the number of days that Bitcoin spent above certain pricing, right? So we're at, as you see, we're at 15,381. Well, it's only spent 23 days in total over 15,000. So that's the spike. And as you see here, it went above 15,000. It went to almost 17K, and then it dropped to below 15,000, dropped over 2,000, right? And then shot straight back up. And then dipped about 1,000, and then shot straight back up, and then it crashed, you know, $6,000, you know, went up $2,000, crashed $3,000, went up $4,000, crashed. You know what I mean? So these spikes, if you've been in crypto a long time, you know, you'll be used to these. I mean, look at this craziness. Can you even chart this, right? What the heck? Now, if you zoom out, you can chart it, right? But this is like a madhouse right here. So in the 12 plus years Bitcoin's been around, we're now, you know, 24, 25, we're at 26 days, including like the 3 days we've been in this year, over 15,000. I don't even know how many of those days we actually closed. Maybe it's only been 1 or 2. Yeah, very, very uncertain price range. What we are comfortable with, if you zoom out, by the way, I'm not really a chart reader guy. I spent a lot of time learning about it, and the more I learned about it, and I understand the resistance lines, and I get all that. Like when people talk about it, I understand what they're talking about. But with crypto, it's like you can't chart read anything but Bitcoin, really. And Bitcoin is even like susceptible to whales manipulating it. But if Bitcoin drops like $5,000, do you think there's going to be any coin that like pumps 100% or 20% or, you know, whatever? There might be 1 or 2 crazy weird ones, and they're probably scams, right? But the majority of them are going to fall with Bitcoin. So maybe you can chart read Bitcoin, I guess, because the bigger and the more people that participate in it, the easier it is to chart read, because a lot of these chart readings have to do with people and emotions, and then it's all computer and bots after that. So people, it's really easy to see people dumping the price, and then bots dump the price even harder, and then they find that bottom, that resistance, and then they end up buying and pumping it more, and then people FOMO into it, and then they take profits, right? Like, computers are running the game for the most part. But the more people that participate, the easier it is for those computers to run those games. But anyways, if you zoom out, right, since the last pump, we haven't hit. In 2019, we were kind of in the 13,000 range. For some reason, I thought it was 14K, but 13, right? So we're over $1,000 over the top that we've seen since the last pump. Right, and then if you zoom way out, right? Oh my gosh, you can't even see. Do you remember the dramatic over $1,000? It dumped down from 1,000 to the low. I thought it went down to 2s. Oh yeah, there it is, 2s. Look how long it was too. It was in 200 for a year plus, 3, 4. And finally broke $1,000. So in 2014, it hit a high of 1,000. 2014, 2015, 2016, almost all the way through 2017. It was like April, so I guess the first quarter of 2017, it was breaking its highs from like 4 years prior. Although look how flat this line is, right? Compared to where we are now. It went from 1,000 to 20K, right? And then went down to 3K, and then like 32, I think, is the lowest it closed at that I remember. And then, so Bitcoin right now is super manipulatable. Anyways, supposedly, that reminds me of that Joey scene on Friends. There's not that much regulation in it as well, so it's hard for me to chart read. So I'm not really a chart reader guy. What I do follow is like partnerships, adoption, that sort of stuff. So on that note, hold on, let's talk about that near the end. Square. So Square currently is selling, let's see, where does it say? They sold 160,000 Bitcoin in Q3 of 2020. To put that in perspective, in case you don't know how Bitcoin is made, we were at like 8%. We're at like now 4% of Bitcoin's it's at a oh wait, that's the wrong word. Bitcoin's oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name. All right, I'm gonna talk about this in a second. Anyways, but it doesn't create that much Bitcoin. So in case you don't know how Bitcoin works, miners end up, it's a big math problem, right? In order to make it where you don't have to trust a third party, these computers have to solve this math problem, and there's hundreds of thousands of people working on this network independently, and if 51% of the people agree on this consensus and solve this math problem, then whoever solves that math problem, they get a bunch of Bitcoin as a reward, and that helps people buying all this computer stuff and paying for power and all that nonsense, right? So at any rate, they are selling over 160,000 Bitcoin. However, 27,000 Bitcoin were mined during that month of October. So Grayscale, so let's see, we're at a little less than 60,000 in a quarter, and so Square alone is selling, around 100,000 Bitcoin more than is being produced, which means the supply is getting cut. And then Grayscale alone, they bought 40,000 Bitcoin in October, which is more than the crypto that was mined as well. So there's just one, company alone is buying more Bitcoin, and Square, Grayscale doesn't have an app that users can hop on board, though, where Square does. So I guess two separate kind of. But yeah, that's very bullish, right? In fact, here's a little chart that someone made, right? 163,000 to the 81,000 that was mined during that time. And then also, this is talking about Grayscale, JP Morgan. There's more Bitcoin being purchased, ETFs, and demands than it is for gold. So even the banks are finding more demand for gold. I gambled everything away except my wax, dude. I have a problem. Oh, no. Oh, that sucks. Gambled it away on crypto stuff or what? Like a crypto gambling app, or just like cashed out? That sucks, man. Yeah, well, luckily we're at the beginning of something, right? So just put it in hold. I don't know. Anyways, so PayPal as well. So PayPal has been receiving really high demand and support for their crypto service, more than anticipated, which is, they were kind of wondering what was going to happen because Rubet, not sure what that is, but I've seen a lot of those crypto gambling sites. I have a fear, dude. I have many fears, but here's a fear of mine. Crypto is going to hit 20K, and I'm going to go all in on like a 10x leverage, and then a whale is going to dump it, and I'm going to lose all that freaking money, and then it's going to pump, and I'm going to lose it. So I'm like, dude, don't freaking be stupid, Skylar. Put like 10% in it and leverage that. Don't leverage, It's scary, though, because seeing that profit right there is like, and especially like if you're in the space, all you hear about is people making profits really easily, and you hear all these stories, and sometimes there are people that you actually know, and it's like, ugh, that makes it even worse. And anyways, I get it, man. But anyways, it's surprising that PayPal is getting this much acceptance because, everyone hated on Facebook. Now, Facebook's a different story than PayPal because PayPal is already money, right? But still, I was actually kind of surprised that they got it's like no bad press, and so yeah, Schulman, he's the CEO of Bitcoin. He said that we're going to take up to 10,000 limit per day, and then he moved up to 15,000 based on the demand that we're seeing. We're going to roll up to 100% in the U.S. in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We're beginning to already see some halo effects ongoing with that. So yeah, now he also said that PayPal as a whole is going to offer it early 2021. Tuesday, they announced that it will be providing its users with the opportunity to buy and hold and sell crypto directly to their PayPal account by early next year. It also hinted a strategy to significantly boost the crypto's utility capability by making it readily available as a funding source as it purchases for purchases at its nearly 26 global million clients. So, geez, I can read, I promise. So that's crazy. So in 2021, we might see. I mean, here's a possibility, right? A $20,000 being tested, and then as soon as PayPal launches it on their Venmo, launches it on their PayPal account, launches it with all their partners, and all of a sudden there's hundreds, quite a few 100 million people buying it, then that's when it could end up pumping super hard. Who knows? They're not going to sell. And what's up? What do you mean they're not going to sell? Who's not going to sell? PayPal? So PayPal gave insights on why the global payment system was going crypto. And they said it was because financial inclusion and access, efficiency, speed, resilience of the payment system, and the ability for governments to disperse funds to the citizens quickly. But yeah, apparently they're going to connect a wallet directly through Venmo, is what I was reading, is what they may end up doing. No one really knows for sure because there's just a lot of rumors being. I read a lot of back and forth. So you just kind of got to see what the CEO says, I guess. But they are going to work with banks and try to do this as legit and whatever is possible. So we'll see what ends up happening. Oh yeah, the hedge funds and the banks, they're not, well, ETFs, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, exchanges will. So once banks start accepting it, then places like Fidelity and these stock brokerage accounts, that you see, they'll be able to start holding it now, and then you'll be able to start buying and selling it that way. But a lot of banks are just going to use it to like leverage it. Eventually, there's going to be more holders of Bitcoin that will be in existence, right? That'll be dumb, but it'll happen. Not physically in reality, but on paper. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah, they're all holding it, wrapping it, and using it as collateral. And then also, yeah. So crypto or PayPal should start offering it, but you know, but even like Robinhood, like I wonder if you're even really holding Robinhood Bitcoin, right? If you buy Bitcoin on Robinhood, are you actually transacting on chain, or is Robinhood just holding that $50 and saying that you have it as Bitcoin? They're really using that money for safer investments that they believe can yield more profit than Bitcoin would. So then when you cash out in Bitcoin, they'll have made a better profit than you with your selling, right? Maybe something like that. I don't know how that stuff works. I mean, I've read, whatever. Anyways, I don't know why I'm on this page. It's just a freaking dope. I want to print this out big time. This guy Satoshin at GMX made it, but I don't know why I put it up. So, and then I'm going to talk about Bitcoin again as a whole here in a second, and go back to the other coins, but I just want to talk about this. So, I'm actually making a video on the Silk Road, and oh my gosh, dude, I'm in the middle of this what do you call it? The appeal for Ross, right? But there's a lot of stuff in it I've been going through. But at any rate, the Silk Road, in case you guys don't know, is like the largest underground marketplace that has ever existed. It was like the Amazon for anything, right? And people want to call it like the Amazon for illegal drugs, which it was. Probably I think like 80% or something crazy like that, some high number of it was like all just marijuana. But you were able to buy and sell anything with anonymity with that website. And you could buy and sell it with Bitcoin. That's why a lot of people didn't like Bitcoin. They said only criminals used it. It was because the Silk Road was the first like huge, website that started using Bitcoin. But anyways, there's a lot of money seized from that website. But recently, there was a wallet associated with, it was the fourth largest Bitcoin wallet in existence, I believe. And it had 69,370 Bitcoin, which is about $1 billion. In fact, I think right now at the price, it's over $1 billion worth. But apparently the government seized it, and it has to do. The filing said that Ross Albright, who was who they convicted as Dread Pirate Roberts, the creator of the Silk Road, who's serving over 2 life sentences for creating that marketplace. Never sold any drugs on it, but he created the Amazon website, and he's serving 2 life sentences. Even though there's been multiple websites like that taken down, and nobody has served more than like 30 years, but whatever. Anyways, yeah. Ross Albright became aware of the individual's identity and then threatened the individual, demanding the return of the cryptocurrency after the money was stolen. The individual did not return the cryptocurrency, but kept it, but did not spend it, and the individual consented to the funds forfeiture on Tuesday, according to the filing. So apparently Ross twisted the guy's arm, and I don't know what this is going to do with Ross, and if he's going to get a lighter sentence or, whatever. But look out for that. I'm probably. In the next 2 weeks, I'm going to start filming and writing, and hopefully by the beginning of December, I'll have the first video out. But it's hard to make the video because there's so much different contrasting stories, and people stick to it, and they have quotes, and it's like real evidence of other people being the creator and all this stuff. So I'm trying to get the entire picture, and it's just taking a while, but look out for that, because I will make a dope video. That should be hopefully the highest quality I've ever made. Oh, by the way, on that note, I am doing a live stream with Crypto Daily. he's my favorite YouTuber. The only reason why he's on my channel, you can actually see him right here. The only reason why he's on my not my first is because Andreas Antonopoulos actually got me obsessed with cryptocurrency. I probably, my first like 10 hours of learning about Bitcoin was through Andreas, and so he's like, and when it comes to beginners, which my channel is all about, he has so many videos that's like really like paints that picture of what Bitcoin is and everything. But Crypto Daily, I've been watching him since 2017. There's hasn't been a single video I've missed of his. On that note, Lark Davis as well, he does his videos daily. I pretty much don't miss any of his videos. Ivan, he does it daily, but if they're long, I probably watch 3 or 4 a week of his. Never miss any of Chico's. Maybe I'm at like 80% of Elio, depending on what he's writing. Crypto Fiend, I don't know if he hasn't even posted in a while. Martini as well. I feel like he's a homie. I've just been following him for a long time, talking, engaging with him, and he's really cool. I went through some hacking problems, and he helped me. He offered to help, which was really cool. And then these two are just news organizations, which maybe aren't the best trustworthy, but they're news, so everything you need to look at with a filter, right? Hold on. They were holding us quality essay. Everyone, and now should not sell anything. Yeah, Andreas was my first. I know, right? Andreas was my first. Anyways, yeah, so they seized it. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but we'll like, what if the government became the largest crypto holder? Bitcoin holder. I'm not saying that'd be a bad thing, but it could happen because Bitcoin is used by a lot of drug dealers and stuff. It's a good and anonymous crypto, and so when people arrest other people that are high into it, and they're like, "Hey, I know you have $1 million of Bitcoin. I know you have give us that money, and we'll be lighter on your sentence," right? So they already own the 4th largest wallet in crypto. Eventually, they could be very big players, which I don't see as a bad thing. I mean, they could dump it, which should be fine because then they wouldn't have any. And I don't think they're going to dump it. I think they understand. I mean, the CIA like legitly invested into Bitcoin in 2011. It's one of the reasons why Satoshi left is because one of his partners, Dave, I think it was Dave. Anyways, one of his partners ended up going to the CIA. He told Satoshi, he was just like, the CIA wanted to know about what Bitcoin was. Anyways, man, there's so many like crazy, real, like, they sound like conspiracies, but they're like real. Like the CIA legitly like invested into Uber and Facebook and a lot of these companies before they went big, and they use a lot of that money for like Black Ops programs and stuff like that to like help fund a lot of these programs that they don't want Congress approval for. Like that sounds like fake, but it's like it's real. It's like known, and people don't freak out about it because I don't know why. People are freaking out about Trump or masks or I don't know. There's always something else going on than this stuff. Dang, that's my last energy drink. No sugar or 1 gram of sugar, negative calories, right? And it like boosts me like 2 Red Bulls does. Anyways, crazy story. I'm really curious what's going to happen. I'm going to follow the story pretty closely, and I'll make a video about it and kind of go in detail about it once I find out anything past like pretty much this last paragraph. But yeah, let's go back to the charts. This is nuts. Here, let's kind of zoom out back to 2016. So okay, so this is Bitcoin's price in September of 2013. It zipped up from And so a lot of these, let's see, January of 2014. Let me zoom all the way. Here we go. There we go. A lot of people don't like, they look at these charts and they don't like, these little ups and downs are kind of nothing, but imagine it's, you know, the beginning, it's Friday, right? October 4th, or, you know, let's say October 15th, beginning of the month, and all of a sudden it pumps up. Within a week, it goes up from, you know, 130 to, you know, over 200, and then it crashes down 30, and that takes a full day. The next day it goes up. So like right now, we're doing the same thing right now with just with higher numbers. So anyways, at let's see, November 2nd, pretty much it was at $200, and then the end of November, so 1 month it went from $200 to $1,100, and then after it hit its all-time high, I mean, this is like going to 20K, right? And then it dips all the way down to, or, you know, I mean, if you just double the numbers, right, it goes up to, you know, 2,000. Let's say that 2,000 is 20,000, right? It goes all the way down to 1,700, right, which would be 2,400 over the course of January of 2015, over the course of a year and a couple of months. That's almost what we did. It took 2 years. By the way, the longer these cycles as well, they get longer and longer. So the stretch in between is longer and longer when we hit these lows and highs. So anyway, when you zoom out, it's like this could very well be 2017, and then where we're at now, right? Maybe we're right here, right? We're almost catching, and then we just took a dip, and I don't know. It's just like when you zoom out, you can see the exact same story. By the way, this has happened with Bitcoin, like 8 times of it going like a, you know, 10, 20, 30x, sometimes going 100x or whatever, and then crashing down 90%, and then it recovering over the course of a year or whatever the case, right? Got 92 in my original Bitcoin wallet. Nice. So yeah, I'm excited about Bitcoin for sure. Now let's talk about, let me show you this chart that everyone always talks about. Bitcoin chart. What would you call it? Like a moon chart. Yeah, just throw the word moon in it. There we go. It's, no. Let's see. Here we go. This one. I don't like the black background though. Wait, what does this end at? This ends at like 1K. That's not what I'm looking at. This will work. Oh wait. Sorry, hold on. I want to get the white one. Bitcoin cycles moon chart. Come on, bruh. Maybe this is it. If I go back into my videos, this actually might work. I've posted this video on my Twitter. I've talked about it in videos. It's just like a really well-known chart. I'm on the fly. I don't want to go look for it and spend 5 minutes, although I'm already doing that right now, apparently. Dude, I just want to open it long. So I guess this will work. So Bitcoin's gone through these hype cycles where it pumps up like crazy and then ends up crashing and then it consolidates. And this chart isn't like showing all of that stuff, but it goes through these. It pumps and then it crashes and then it consolidates and then it pumps again and at any rate, but it goes through these pumps and crashes constantly. And the chart I'm looking for, it shows it like 8 times that over the course of a year. But or over the course of its lifetime. Oh dang, that freaked me out. It's my fold reminder. Hey, if you guys don't use fold, you guys should. I think I have the description down below if you want to use it. You get like 20,000 satoshis. Jeez, what is 20,000? Oh my gosh! You know what? I want to figure out. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of I'm getting off track. Download it. It's free, but you get to download. It's up here. You see this little wheel. If you don't have it, you hit this little. Come on, I believe in you. There you go. And you spin this wheel, and it gives you. Yeah, I made 100 sats, but you have the potential of earning 1 million satoshis, right? Which is like $150, right now. 153 bucks or whatever it is, right? Eventually people are like tripping out about owning a full Bitcoin, but they don't care about satoshis. Like you can own hundreds of thousands of satoshis right now, and eventually when if Bitcoin ever reaches 1 million, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $10 million, then one satoshi is going to be actually worth, it's like, wow, it's not like a penny anymore, it's $1 instead. So owning a few pennies isn't any, owning a few hundred pennies isn't anything. Owning a few hundred, all of a sudden, it's something else, right? Anyways, there will come a day, though, I believe. So, yeah. Now let's talk about the other coins. Ethereum. I could just like go down this entire list. I can talk about every single freaking coin in the top 100. You've been into crypto too long when every project you have like multiple stories of drama and crazy stuff that happen. Anyways, Ethereum I'm really excited about as well. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink, by the way, are my 3 largest holdings. But Ethereum 2.0 is coming around the corner. And that will take its transactions from currently, which is about 15 transactions per second, to... Oh, sorry, man. I know, right? I'm on time today. I need to be better at being on time all the time, right? Anyways, Ethereum... Okay, I'm going to talk some trash on Bitcoin and Ethereum and crypto here for a second. Because a lot of people, they only look at the sunshine and they don't look at the bad side. Which I don't think there really is any bad side, by the way. But I mean, the hurdles currently that are in the way of crypto and Bitcoin. So Bitcoin currently, I guess this is like the only big hurdle. And that's the transaction speed. So Bitcoin can only do about 4, 5, 6, 7 transactions per second. With Lightning Network, you can do like 15 transactions per second. I'm not a big firm. A lot of the hardcore Bitcoin people love Lightning Network, and maybe I should too. People are really sensitive about liking or not liking certain things, but I don't really care for Lightning Network because they've been working on it for many years and it seemingly has gone nowhere. So maybe there's another path, it can be a little bit quicker. Elon Musk says that if you're taking too long on a certain task, it's cheaper and more efficient to drop that task and start over at 100% and take the loss than to continue working on a solution that is ineffective. And he says a lot of big companies get stuck because they put so much money and investment into one thing that they need to make that one thing work, where he just like scraps things all the time and it pisses off his investors. But it's like it's the only way he can succeed, right? It's going to waste money in the long term. But anyways, I kind of feel like that way with Lightning Network. It's just, I don't feel like Bitcoin has really done anything in the last 4 years, to be honest, when it comes to technology improvements. Ethereum currently is going through, Ethereum 2.0, which isn't going to be huge because it's going to be a layer 2 solution, which means the actual core code of Ethereum isn't going to be improved. It's going to be an addition to the code, a second layer. When layer 1 improves, then that'd be awesome. But they even admitted they're years away from their layer 1 from scaling. But the reason why that matters, scaling, and the reason why I'm talking about it so much, is because if you can only do 6, 15, 20, 100, 5,000, if you can't do more than 5,000 transactions per second, let alone 5, you can't work as a currency. Now, Bitcoin is more of a store of value, so I don't really see that as a really big problem, because I use Bitcoin as a store of value, and people trip out because they think Bitcoin should be used as, as a currency, and like, hey, Bitcoin Cash, okay, fine, we'll use that as a currency if you want, but I use Litecoin. I like Litecoin as a currency, but there's many others you can use. Heck, you can use you can use anything as a currency. You can use, XRP, even though it's centralized. I mean, when it comes to trading value, it's like, all right, it's the same value, especially on exchanges, right? You can just swap it for the coin that you want. Anyways, I'm kind of getting off topic, but Bitcoin's not been fixing this problem for a long time. They're I need to mute. I know. I just realized my wife came in. She's like, "You're muted." That's funny. So lost my train of thought. So, yeah, Ethereum is not ready for scaling. There's thousands of companies that are using Ethereum, and they each have thousands of people using it. And so Ethereum is going to need to go into the hundreds of thousands of transactions per second, if not millions eventually of transactions per second once it gets mainstream adoption. But it's a good first step. So Ethereum is actually coming with Ethereum 2.0, and who knows who's going to, it could be OMG, it could be Matic, it could be XDAI that could be used to scale them as a layer 2. I think XDAI makes the most sense, but also there's been a lot of rumble with like Matic and OMG. I think they're the other two that it may be. But once a layer 2 solution happens, and you can end up scaling a ton of and increasing the transactions per second drastically, then a lot of these other companies can start putting out their product and onboarding lots of users, which will bring adoption. And so I guess here's my deal on the adoption. Or on the price. Currently, Bitcoin is at $283 billion market cap. So gold is at about a $9 trillion market cap, right? So if we were to just take our calculator, oh, you can't see the calculator. How do I show the calculator? Whoa, that's cool. All right. Oh wait, is it working? Oh wait, here. Sorry, it's like on my screen it's different than on the stream. So let's go back to Bitcoin. Oh crap, I lost my calculator again. Okay, there we go. So we're going to take Bitcoin's market cap. We're going to take the 1,000 million billion trillion divided by the market cap. So Bitcoin will go into gold's market cap 31.69 times. So the reason why that's important is if you were to take the current Bitcoin price, which is $15,319, and you times it by that 31.69, you will equal a $485,459 Bitcoin. So this is where people get the $500,000 Bitcoin, is if it matched the market cap of gold at $9 trillion, it's a little over $9 trillion, so it's close to a $500,000 coin, then you can get to $500,000. Now, I think that is a very reasonable price to get to, because gold does not need hundreds of thousands of users to gain adoption, and when it comes to transactions per second, because gold doesn't do that. Gold is used as a store of value, which is what a lot of people look at Bitcoin as. A lot of people look at Litecoin as like the transaction, as like the day-to-day, the coffee. If you want to buy coffee, use Litecoin, or a lot of people will also say Bitcoin Cash. Oh yeah, right here. But yeah, a lot of people look, also a lot of people think that Bitcoin will be used as day-to-day transactions eventually, and that's why a lot of people also don't trip out about the fact that Bitcoin can only do like 6 transactions per second, is because most people just buy it and they hold it, which is the case for me, right? I would use other currencies when it comes to day-to-day transactions because they're really cheaper. Now, so yeah, that's where the $500,000 Bitcoin price goes. Now, if we look at beyond that, gold could, Bitcoin, okay, so gold is used as a store of value. Jeez, that scared the crap out of me. Thanks, Tim Hardaway. Anyways, gold could be, if it matches the market cap of gold, then we're at 400. Oh, am I blocking it? I am. Sorry, there we go. It'd be $500,000. Now, when it comes to people saying, hey, what about, $1 million Bitcoin, $5 million, $8 million, $10 million Bitcoin? So it's because the reason why people think that, it's, oh no, you're good, Tim, no worries. Hey, you're on Twitch too. That's cool. Appreciate the follow for sure. At any rate, by the way, I'm going to start streaming more on Twitch about like a bunch of I feel like I'm going to overwhelm my YouTube channel on streams, but sometimes when I want to do research on projects and stuff like that, I'll go on just so people can chat or have questions. Whenever the bull run happens or Bitcoin becomes more popular, that's when a lot of people like have a ton of questions. So I'll stream a lot more eventually, but I'll do multi-streaming every week for sure. At any rate, so yeah, if it was just a store of value, it could be worth $500,000, but Bitcoin is more than just a store of value. Bitcoin is people like to call it the money of the internet, but one of my favorite quotes by Andreas Antonopoulos is he says it's not money of the internet. People need to stop looking at it that way, because money of the internet is comparable to gold. It's just like a store of value. It's just money. It's just there to, but it's not. Bitcoin is not money of the internet. It is the internet of money, right? So think about it this way. Gold and Bitcoin as a store of value, they could be compared the same, because gold, unless we find asteroids, which could happen, or like gold reserves somewhere, there's a limited supply of gold. There's also a limited supply of Bitcoin. So they're good to be compared that way. Gold has way more trust than Bitcoin for sure. Thousands of years versus 12, right? So they do have that on them. But imagine gold if you could incorporate the internet with gold, right? Meaning, you can set up automatic payments, you can do transactions, like Bitcoin is creating an environment and an ecosystem where an economy can thrive on the internet, and it can be its own economy. I also don't believe, by the way, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's going to take over the United States dollar and become a world currency. I don't believe that at all. Give me a break. You think the government's going to allow that? They're not going to, in the sense that they're going to be like, okay, we give up, Bitcoin wins. No, I think it's going to be the United States dollar, the euro, the peso, the Bitcoin, right? It's just going to be another currency, but it's going to be widely used online just because it works better than currency. Imagine being able to pay somebody 0.003 pennies to read an article. Like, how cool would it be if we had a social media set up, which you can't do with gold, by the way, so think about this. And this is just one of like bajillion examples, right? But what social media platforms do you get paid on just for using it, not for getting sponsors? Oh yeah, I have 30,000 followers and now this company is willing to give me money to make a video on it. Not that. Is Instagram paying you? Saying, hey, for every follower you get, we'll give you a 0.1 penny or something like that. I don't know. Or is Facebook paying you for posting or engaging? Hey, you posted a really cool article. They got, 1.2 million people read this article and engaged with you. So because of that, we're going to give you, $1,200. Hey, this post right here, 100 people shared this. So we're going to give you 32 cents for that one, right? Like, how cool it would be if there was a social media platform that did that. Well, you can't do that right now just because there's no system that works that way. Now, Facebook tried like Facebook Bucks a while ago that didn't work out. Like, you do have video games that have their own in-game currency, right? Like V-Bucks with Fortnite, but it's not compatible cross-wide to the entire internet where Bitcoin is. So you would be able to and you can't do a transaction for 0.003 pennies, because who's going to process that transaction? They're going to charge you 3 pennies to do that transaction. So you can't do any transaction under whatever the minimum fee is of a payment processing fee would be. Where Bitcoin, you can do that, or Ethereum, or maybe a different currency. It might be, there's people that have transferred hundreds of millions of dollars for like 14 cents, right? Or even more important, there's people who have sent 1 penny and it costs 0.00001 penny to send it, right? So the reason why that's important is you'll be on, you're new to this, so you'll be on the lookout so you can learn more. Yeah, I do these streams every single Sunday, by the way, and Tim, so if you have any questions or whatever, you can always ask them on there. And then Twitter, DM me. I'm very active on Twitter, so if you have any questions or whatever. Sometimes it's hard to wait a week, especially when things are going so crazy day by day, right? So I might be streaming a lot more over the next couple of weeks, depending on what goes on. But it's hard to like make the thumbnails and start everything. It might be a little more casual streams, but at any rate, sorry, go back to it. So yeah, Bitcoin, you would be able to do transaction speeds that low, or Ethereum or whatever, and be able to set up a social media platform where you can do that. Now there already are social media platforms. I actually use Rebuzz a lot on my phone, REBUZZ. It's a pretty fun one. A lot of people like Steam. I don't like Steam. I think Dan Larimer, or Ned, oh my gosh, Dan Larimer, and then Ned, I can't remember who the other guy's, his last name, but they started, well, jeez, for not knowing crypto, I'm going really into depth. There is a company called EOS right here. The owner of this company, the CEO is named Dan Larimer, and he originally started a couple other companies like BitPay, I can't remember. Anyways, he has another company called Steam. It's got to be in the top 100, right? It's a social media platform. Anyways, I don't really like it just because it's easy to manipulate posts and bury posts, and the other owner ended up messing it up. But now Dan Larimer is creating a new social media called Voice, and I'm really excited about that. But there's a lot of social media platforms out there with crypto, but it'll be nice because you actually get paid, for engagement and that sort of stuff, which you can't do now because you have third party in place that are reaching for their hand, and I understand there needs to be fees in place, especially when you're using other people's servers and stuff, and buildings and security and employees and all that sort of stuff, which Bitcoin does and all these cryptos does in code, right? So it's able to bypass those fees. So anyways, long term, crazy bullish. I think for sure it's going to be $500,000 coin, but I think it's going to be more than that. But when it comes to when, who knows? It could be 10 years, could be 20, I don't know. But I'm hoping for sure that it's going to at least hit the 6-figure range in this next bull run. But yeah, what if it goes to 6 figures and then it crashes down to 18K or 12K, right? Then everyone's going to be like, dude, forget this, right? And then it consolidates at 12K and it slowly goes up over the course of 3 years to like 40K, and then in the last year it goes from 40K to 80K, and then it goes from 80K to 100 in like 3 days, and then all of a sudden 100 to $500,000 or $1 million in a week and a half, right? That's just what Bitcoin does. But it's a waiting game, and a lot of people don't like playing that waiting game, and I understand it's a scary waiting game, and I have some negative spots right now with crypto. A lot of like half of my DeFi portfolio is in negative, and the other half, and it being positive, is just keeping the other negative pretty much afloat, right? I may be up like 20% overall, where it used to be a few 100%, right? And I'm just used to those swings, and you got to get used to taking profits once a certain coin, if a coin goes up like 3-4x, probably good to take profit, right? Unless Bitcoin's also going 3-4x, then you gotta hang on for the ride, right? Anyways, Bitcoin's crazy, crypto's crazy. Ethereum is soon. Okay, so I'm bullish on Bitcoin because it's in this price range that's only been tested less than a month, right? But also Ethereum, because Ethereum 2.0, ooh, look, 5,400, it's going up. Ethereum also because Ethereum 2.0 is coming around. They say by Q1 by the latest, but maybe even before 2021. But when that comes out, the increase in transactions will go up. So I'm assuming this will hit $1,000 at least when that happens. And all my expectations, I'm hoping, are like low end. If it goes up like 300 and that's it, I'm gonna be so pissed. I'm hoping 1,000 is the low end, and it might end up hitting past its all-time high of 1,500. I don't think it hit 1,500, but 14 I think was its all-time high. Right, Tether's just a stable coin. Who cares? XRP, a lot of people don't like XRP because it's centralized, and they sell so much of their coins, and they push that price down every single month by selling their coins, and people just keep buying it and buying it. But a lot of people think that this is going to be integrated into banks. And so, if the current banking infrastructure can be improved by at least 80%, which XRP has been tested to be able to do so. I mean, actually tested. They claim a lot faster than that, but it has been factually proven that it increases a lot of these transaction speeds that Swift and a lot of these other banks do by at least 80%. So if banks end up incorporating this technology, then that could be awesome. It could, $11 billion is nothing, right? Just Swift, you would 10x just to be close to where Swift is, projected to be at, or not projected, but is at right now, right? I don't really care for it just because it's centralized and I don't know. But then again, I do have a small holding, because who knows? Brad Garlinghouse, who used to be the CEO of AOL, also runs XRP, and so I don't see him as an exit scam guy. I see him as a really smart businessman, and I think that this is going to be a player that's going to be around for a long time. Bitcoin Cash, a lot of people don't like it because they claim to be the real Bitcoin. It's run by Roger Ver. I used to hate Bitcoin Cash, and now I'm kind of I understand why people don't like it, but I also understand why Roger Ver is kind of an a-hole sometimes and does the things he does. So I don't know. These two communities, Bitcoin Cash, are just really toxic together. Not a fan of the toxicity of all crypto, by the way. One of the things I don't like about crypto, by the way, is they're not forgiving. They're not accepting. They say they are, but not really. I'll ask questions, and people laugh at me and dude, you're dumb. It's just I think that's a legit question, by the way. And some of these questions that still have... Oh, but one of the questions I recently asked someone was idiot. I was like, well... I actually know two exchanges that do exactly what I said, but whatever. But it's just people are mean, and they just want to troll and trash. And so it's really hard to ask questions in this community, which I hope... By the way, I am going to create a Discord, and I'm going to post it. I'll start talking about it next week. Somebody mentioned it. My first tip was someone saying, make a Discord. So I'm like, oh, okay. But it'd be nice because that way I only want people that can help others, and that way a community can be built. If new people want to come in, there's already a bunch of people that have been in and can help, and that we can ask stupid questions without people trolling, and just a really welcoming community. So I am making a Discord, and hopefully we can start something like that. But anyways, now Chainlink. Crazy excited about Chainlink. This is my like I said, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink are my three largest holdings. And the reason why Chainlink is they're an oracle. So if you don't know what an oracle is, they essentially gather data, gather a bunch of data from from many different outputs and puts it into one input, or vice versa, whatever. But anyways, essentially what they do is this is all the oracles of crypto, by the way. So they own a majority of the market share. By a bare minimum, they have 90% of all the agreements and contracts and partnerships and stuff. UMA, I like UMA. A lot of people like Band Protocol. I don't know. A lot of people like Dia and Teller, and then the other ones, I don't know. Zap used to have a little bit of community, but I don't really see them anymore. I still see Teller people around and Band people around, but I do like UMA. UMA is now decentralized, but anyways, what they do is make it where, let's say you want to make a bet on the blockchain of an outcome of the election, for instance. But right now, oh my gosh, this is a perfect example. So right now, some people are saying that Biden won, but other people are saying he didn't win yet, and some people are saying we're still trying to figure it out, and some people, there's so much uncertainty going around that how would you know if you made a bet who would win? If Fox says one thing but CNBC says the other, who's going to get paid? Is it going to be nobody because they cancel each other out, or how are you getting that information? So what Chainlink would do is they say, hey, every single piece of information, anybody has a voice, who's legit, we'll look for. Okay, we'll take your voice from the Democrat Party. We'll say, okay, we'll take your voice from the Republican. We'll take your voice from the news at Fox. We'll take your voice from CNN. We'll take your voice from CNBC. We'll take your voice from NBC. We'll take your voice. So they just take everybody's voices, and then they compile it, and then they say, okay, 51% of the people have to agree on this. Once 51% of the people agree, then we can pay out, or 80% or 90%, or I don't know, whatever. You can submit whatever contract you want, but that's how they submit it. And so that way, if there's a baseball game or a basketball game, and CNN, for instance, screws up and they give the wrong score, but it's really something else, the wrong people don't get paid. And that way, and there's many instances where you're going to need to take a bunch of output data and make sure you gather them up and get correct information. So that's what Chainlink does. And they're my my largest favorite DeFi project for sure. Binance Coin, I'm not a big fan of Binance. I think they're kind of becoming more and more irrelevant. Holy crap, $28 though. I actually sold mine at $23, but that was like 3 years ago. Anyways, Polkadot. I love Polkadot. I hold a lot more Kusama than Polkadot because it's a secondary chain of Polkadot. Whenever Polkadot goes up 5%, Kusama goes up like 8%. It's kind of like the Litecoin to Bitcoin when it comes to how they're kind of the same code. But Kusama is the original code they were testing on, and then they officially launched the code on Polkadot. So more partnerships, and everyone's going to initially go on Kusama, and then once it's established, they go on Polkadot. So and Kusama is they're ranked 53, right? They have a $300 million market cap, where Polkadot has a $4 billion market cap, right? So a lot of room to grow. But anyways, what they do is they connect all these chains together. So let's say you have Bitcoin and you want to buy something, but the person only accepts Ethereum. Well, Polkadot can make it where you can use your Bitcoin and it just will sell it to them in Ethereum. They'll make that trade for you. It also helps with scalability. So you'll be able to put Ethereum on Polkadot, and actually when you use Ethereum, and you can use Ethereum doing like 1,000 transactions per second with their layer 2, and then they make a transaction through Polkadot and it actually like 10x's that transactions, or it can do that. So Polkadot is like, it connects all the blockchains together and it allows everybody to work with one another, and it helps with scalability so people can actually do more transactions per second and improve their original network, right? So it's like a relay chain more than like a blockchain, right? So really excited about Polkadot. A lot of people love, I don't know why I'm going down the list, but I'm just going to end doing this. A lot of people love Litecoin. It was my original coin. I bought it at like $20, sold it at like $240, or I don't know what I sold it at actually. It was way more than I bought it for, right? But this is my first coin that I officially bought and like made a ton of money on. I think I dumped it into a Tron and Pi, and then they went from like a penny to like 27 or some crazy like that, right? And then I was stupid and I was like, I'm gonna hold it until I'm a millionaire. And it's like, and then Bitcoin crashed, right? From 20K down to 34, I think was its lowest, 32 maybe, I don't know. Anyways, so I like Litecoin because they're like the test network of Bitcoin. Anytime Bitcoin does something, normally it's launched on Litecoin first. So if there's like something that makes Litecoin really good and fast and whatever, then you're like, okay, that's probably going to get put on Bitcoin soon. So Bitcoin's transaction speeds are probably going to be increasing here pretty soon because how good the code is working with Litecoin. So Litecoin is kind of like the test network of Bitcoin, not officially, but kind of. Plus Charlie Lee, he's an OG. He actually told everybody to sell their Bitcoin. He's like, or Litecoin, at the top. So he sold at the top when Litecoin was at the highest, 240 or whatever it was. And he said to everybody, he's like, I'm selling all of my Bitcoin. He's like, I want to focus more on the project, and I can't focus if I'm worrying about pricing. He's like, the price is going to crash. He's like, if you're not prepared for like a 97% crash, then you should probably get out of crypto right now. And so he told everyone he was selling at the top because he was expecting a crash. And so a lot of people like Charlie Lee. He's the creator of Litecoin. And then his brother, he's on CNBC and NBC a lot talking about crypto. But anyways, Cardano, this is owned by a guy named Charles Hodgkinson. Charles Hodgkinson. Geez, I'm like stumbling on my words. Anyways, he used to helped create Ethereum. He was one of the founders of Ethereum, and then he broke off to do his own crypto. This is in the middle of doing a layer 2 scalability as well, so they're also working on their code. There's a lot more hype around Ethereum, but Cardano is also, they're at 3 billion versus 51. But I actually do, by the way, just to be upfront, I hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, a little bit of XRP, a ton of Chainlink, very little Polkadot, mostly Kusama. No Litecoin, even though I do like the project. A little bit of Cardano, maybe 5%, 5% probably. I'm not 100% sure. And then yeah, Satoshi Vision. This is a break off of Bitcoin. That was a break off of where are you? Bitcoin Cash. So Bitcoin Cash broke off from Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin Satoshi Vision broke off from Bitcoin Cash. The guy Craig Wright pretends like claims that he's the creator of Bitcoin, but even though like he can just move all this money anyways, I don't want to get into that. A lot of people hate him. That he's like a huge scammer and a liar. Look at this. He even copies. I mean, you can tell in my verbiage. I don't like him either. He's like copying the Bitcoin logo. What a fun guy. Anyways, USD is just a stable coin just to match the dollar. So in case a crash comes, you can just put it in a stable coin, so you don't have to actually cash out. EOS. This is a company named by name Dan Larimer. I actually like Dan Larimer a lot. I'm not 100% on his code though. I don't hold any EOS, but I can see myself holding because I like Voice, and Voice is an EOS project, and I like Dan Larimer. I like a lot of stuff he says. I connect with, but sometimes he says stuff I'm like, maybe not that. Monero is like the biggest secret currency, right? It's the biggest. Oh my gosh, what do you call it? Privacy coin. Meaning you can transact in it and people don't know who you're transacting with, what you're buying, how much. It's all secretive. The IRS is giving somebody like $160 million or something crazy like that if they can break their code. Fluffy Pony is the guy, is what he's under Twitter. He is the creator of it. Anyways, he's pretty funny. I follow him. WBTC. This is what I'm actually really excited about. This is Bitcoin on Ethereum. So it's something really cool that recently took place. It's like, what if you want to use Bitcoin for Ethereum, but you don't want to use Ethereum, you want to use Bitcoin? And I understand, like, why would you want to do that? Just use Bitcoin. But sometimes you want to use Ethereum because Ethereum has smart contracts, but you want to use Ethereum's smart contract, but use Bitcoin instead of Ethereum. So they wrapped Bitcoin, so it's the exact same price, 15,368.21, 15,380, whatever, right? It's the exact same price, but it's Ethereum instead. And they're saying there's going to be more wrapped Bitcoin than Bitcoin themselves, right? It's just going to match whatever the price is. I mean, I guess you can't really if they're buying the Bitcoin and then just wrapping it in Ethereum, right? So what I guess I meant to say is they're buying more wrapped Bitcoin than people are buying Bitcoin in a lot of instances when it came out. I mean, it skyrocketed. It's number 15. So, but yeah, I think wrapped Bitcoin is going to be. I mean, whatever the price is, if Bitcoin becomes 20K, this will be 20K. If Bitcoin drops to 6K, this will drop to 6K, right? But it's just nice because you can use WBTC on platforms like Uniswap, which is a decentralized exchange that you can buy a lot of tokens on that you can't on other exchanges. But I have a video on that if you want to go into my videos, and it's a Uniswap tutorial. Tron is a guy. The guy who created Tron is Justin's son. I don't hold any Tron. I know a lot of people that like him for some reason, that say he's a cool guy and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like he just copied a bunch of people's white papers, and he's just kind of riding on the crypto wave. A lot of people telling him wrong, but I don't know. I don't hold any Tron. Stellar, I do hold a little bit. Oh, actually, I do hold some Tron in a wallet that I just haven't touched. It's one of those wallets that like. I didn't put it in one of those things I'm monitoring, and the keys aren't near me, so like I have to go get the keys, I have to go look at the wallet, I have to go figure it all out. So I'm just leaving it in, and once Bitcoin goes crazy, then I gotta like figure all this stuff out, and I hide all my like wallets in other people's houses and like half keys and all this stupid stuff because I'm afraid of getting like getting robbed or something here. It's so stupid. But yeah, Stellar is like. Yeah, XRP. In fact, the two creators of XRP, one of them split off and made Stellar. I actually like Stellar more than XRP because it's like XRP except it's a decentralized version. And a lot of people like the code a little bit better, but it doesn't have Brad Garling house at the helm, which he has the name and he has the connections. Like I said, he was the CEO of AOL back when AOL pretty much launched the internet into popularity, right? AOL I think was the first, right? I think they did it before Netscape, right? Yeah, they did. Of course they did. So crypto.com, I actually hold this coin, but just because of their incentives, because I'm earning interest on a couple of currencies, and they forced me to hold this coin. But I have their debit card. I use it. There's another project called BlockFi that I might move to because of actually you guys on the stream. A couple of you guys have recommended it to me, and I've looked it up, and oh my gosh, dude, it's snowing outside right now. I haven't seen it snow yet this year. Anyways, BlockFi has better rewards, seemingly in a lot of the areas that when I'm doing staking and stuff, which if you're going to keep something long term, you should look into staking, look into BlockFi, look into crypto.com. I have a link down below if you want to try it out, but you're able to earn how cool would it be to earn 14% interest, 12% interest on a stable coin on your dollar, right? So you can play the safe route and only earn 12% in 1 year. Oh no, right? 12%. We're in crypto. Come on, give me that 22% a day, or I'm out of here, right? Just kidding. Tezos. All right, I'm not gonna go through all these coins. Wow, I can't believe CDI is actually. I believe Cosmos is. A lot of these coins are actually surprised to see them here. Oh, Uniswap snuck its way up here. Aave, good for Aave. I like Aave. And Uniswap, obviously. MakerDAO, they may be somebody who may help layer 2 solution for Ethereum. I don't know if I said that enough. There's Kusama, right? UMA, Compound. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I guess I'm in the stream right here, right? I don't know what's going to happen over the next few months. And anyone who says they do, they're filthy liars, or they just don't know what the heck they're talking about. I mean, I follow the biggest names. I follow the most trustworthy people. I do nothing but crypto. I feel like outside of my normal work hours. And the people, either they make a lot of claims and 80+% of them are wrong, or people say, I don't know. So I'm going to follow that crowd and say I don't know either. But my bags want to say that we're hitting 20K this year, right? So we'll see. But just imagine if this hits 20K. By the way, Bitcoin's, right, this is only at $51 billion, right? So we're still at an 8.5+ X just for Ethereum to get to Bitcoin. So why can't Ethereum be half of Bitcoin, right, when it pumps, once it can scale? So even if it scaled up to where it was at half of this, we're at its all-time high, right? But then what if this goes, 37X? By the way, what normally happens is Bitcoin hella pumps, and then it dumps. And then when it dumps, all of the price goes into altcoins. But who knows what'll happen. This next week is going to be really interesting. A lot of people think we're going to see that 20K next week. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm real excited. But if we start going crazy, I may start doing these multi-streams daily. Check in every night before I, crash or whatever, and kind of go over the markets when I expect. Maybe check in the morning when I wake up. Heck, if it's going crazy, yeah, I'm going to be doing the streams a lot. So yeah, subscribe and like and notification and all that jazz. But yeah, I'm going to end the stream right here. Super appreciate everyone who has subscribed and all that jazz. And yeah, I will